101 runway shows. Is that right?
It's been a long time, but yeah, 101. In November, I won the CFDA award, which is like equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Award. By the time I turn around, Katy Perry is stark naked, like naked.
Nothing left to
And
the
I was like,
imagination.
I have no off switch. That's the problem. I didn't get married till I was 30, and then my husband died when I was 34. But then after that, I really couldn't even think about anything for years. Someone slams a door, you crawl in the window, you know? That's like what I've been doing my whole life. I'm like relentless. Billie Jean King said, pressure is a privilege. Isn't that a good one?
Fashion trends come and go, but true style, that lasts. Today's guest has spent more than 4 decades proving exactly that. Cynthia Rowley isn't just one of America's most celebrated fashion designers. She's a creative force who has built an enduring lifestyle brand spanning fashion, home, accessories, collaborations, and media, all while remaining refreshingly authentic to herself. In a world obsessed with what's new, Cynthia Rowley has built a career proving that longevity is the ultimate luxury. In an industry that's constantly chasing the next trend, she's done something far more remarkable. She stayed relevant without losing her identity. With more than 100 runway shows to her name, she's dressed everyone from Hollywood stars to women simply looking to feel their best, reminding us that style isn't about following rules, it's about expressing who you are. Today, we're talking about much more than fashion. We're exploring reinvention, confidence, creativity, entrepreneurship, personal style in midlife, and why the most interesting chapter of a woman's life may just be the one she's living in right now. Before we dive in, if you're enjoying the iconic midlife, be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. It helps us continue bringing you inspiring conversations with women who are redefining what's possible in midlife. Please welcome the incredibly talented Cynthia Rowley. Welcome to the iconic midlife, Cynthia. How are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
Oh, I'm so great. I'm so great. I'm just so excited to have you here. I'm glad.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a major congratulations are in order for you. 101 runway shows. Is that right? You've had
I mean,
101.
yeah. I mean, it's been a long time, but yeah, 101.
My gosh.
And
Okay.
we've been going through our archives, which is really cool. In November, I won the CFDA award, which is like kind of the equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Award. So we had to go through all these runway shows, and I was like, where is all this stuff? And so we started digging and we found it. And we've been going through and we're posting a bunch of little stories about each piece, and not each piece, but that's when we were like, oh, wow, it's 101 times 40, 50 looks is like 4 or 5,000 pieces that we've been, that we have technically probably have in archives, but I know we don't have them, but yeah, we have a lot. We
Oh,
have a
that's
lot.
amazing. Amazing. What a career. That too. What a career accomplishment. Is there a collection that stands out to you or like a certain piece that is your favorite?
Definitely no. Like, there's no way. I mean, I would say the opposite. There's some cringeworthy pieces that I'm like, "Oh, what was I thinking?" And, some stuff from the '90s doesn't stand the test of time, while others do, and, I'm, like, surprised to see stuff that we did, like, maybe 10 years ago, and you're seeing it kind of like in collections now. There's a lot of stuff that's vaguely kind of humorous, like Schiaparelli style, like things like that. You'll see it.
Okay.
Follow us and you'll see. We're posting. We just posted the first, but we're gonna be posting a lot.
That's exciting. I will say of all my, Cynthia Rowley pieces, I have so many favorites, but I feel like it's timeless in a lot of ways. Like there are pieces of yours that I've had that I can pull back into my wardrobe, you know, here and there. And I love that. There's like a real workability to your designs and your collection. So Is that for you something that is always in the back of your head when you're designing? Or do you always go into like a new collection just fresh and without like anything kind of that you're thinking about before?
Thank you for that. We don't really do collections. We don't really work like that. We design, make, and ship every day because we're an omni-channel brand, so we have to keep nobody and people don't shop like that. Nobody goes like, "Oh, it's September, time for my fall collection wardrobe shopping," or whatever, we don't work like that. We just make a lot of cool stuff all the time, and we might put it all together to show in a collection, but it's really constant creation all the time, and I think it's really just, like, what I've worked with the same team for so long, and it's really kind of like what we're feeling now after, like, spending a lot of time with these archive pieces. We're like, maybe we should see how that would evolve now. Never the same, but like an evolution, you know?
So when you're looking back at those pieces and, especially over, the years of the shows, what's something that really stands out to you that you've learned about yourself? Not necessarily about the fashion aspect, but you as a woman kind of going through this whole evolution.
It's definitely like I am who I am. There's always this little it's always sporty, but always kinda pretty and sexy, always a tiny wink or sense of humor, something daring or risk-taking. I mean, I think these are all things that, like, hopefully happy, and make other people happy. I think they're all things that are, like, part of the DNA of the brand, but they're authentic because it's part of the DNA of me and, the people I've been lucky enough to work with for so long, and it's just natural, so
Yeah, it just comes to you, right? It
comes
just one.
through.
So what is inspiring you right now in particular? Like, are there things, are there kind of, you know, things that are going on in life right now that you're looking towards? Or like what are the things that really kind of excite you?
Um, well, I do love sports, and I feel like that's been sort of infiltrating the pretty, so, like, some of our pretty stuff has, like, a little bit more of a sportier kind of edge. Um, I think been thinking about a little surrealism. I've been thinking about, it's never one thing.
Yeah.
It's always just like a billion references, a billion experiences, and because we get to design every day, you get to have an idea, an inspiration, a vision and make it a reality on the daily, so multiple times a day. So it's much easier to experiment because, it's such a fast track. So the influences can be coming like all the time from all different places.
I'm so glad you brought up experimentation because I think that's so important with style, and how our personal style evolves, right? Because, what worked in our 20s, maybe it evolves, but maybe we're taking risks. But I feel like a lot of times women in midlife sort of get stuck and like, are afraid to take risks or they've got changing bodies and there are all these different factors to contend with. So what do you say to women in midlife that are maybe want to take a little fashion risk or maybe want to update their wardrobe? Like what would you say to a woman like that that might feel stuck?
I mean, I think just try one thing and, branch out once and see. I mean, I don't know, it's hard for me because I feel like I wanna try everything, and I don't really care if people think, it's too short or it's too tight or what, like, I wanna try it out, I just wanna take it for a test run and, I mean, I think there's a million options. It's never okay, the number one thing, this is what is hard to talk about when you talk about inspiration or timelessness or any of that. Like, there is no one trend, like, there's no trend. You can't there's nothing there's women shouldn't be thinking like, "Oh, I can't wear that." They should be thinking like they should be curious and thinking about what can they wear and not trying to be something just because it seems popular or something. Just be curious about what like, everyone has, like, certain assets that they wanna focus on, and whatever it is, then go in that route, but it's like there's a million different options and a million and there's no trends and there's so many different ways that you can experiment and look different and look exciting and, whatever you wanna look, sophisticated, young, old, I don't know, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
That's the
I'm
fun
here.
of being a
Mhm.
woman, is that you get to decide on the daily or multiple times a day.
Absolutely. You really made a career out of helping women be seen? So I think like a lot of times fashion doesn't get that and style doesn't get that credit because it really can change the way you walk into a room. It can change how you feel. It shapes your outward appearance, but it also I think shapes your inward appearance. So do you find that style and fashion has like that sort of deeper rooted sense for people, or do you think it's mostly, like, on the outside?
No, for sure, like, so I'm going to a Broadway play tonight. Like, I go to concerts, I go to all kinds of stuff. Yankees games, it's chaotic. I wanna see everything, but I'm going to a show tonight, and I'm excited to see the show, my friend's in it, but I'm really excited because I wanna wear this skirt that I'm gonna wear, this, like, fringe skirt, so it's like getting excited about an event because you get to wear something special, there's nothing worse than, like, you're going to something, but you don't have the right thing to wear, you don't have anything to wear, then you dread you don't wanna go to the thing, and then you're missing out on the fun, and that's really sad. So, like, you need to have it's an investment in your it's like a shrink or something. It's like an investment in your happiness to have some things that make you feel good when you put it on and, things that work for different occasions because that's what's gonna give you peace of mind and confidence and, you know have fun. I love my work. I love that I get to have access to all of that. I'm not even, like, clothes crazy. I just like my work, and so that is all I wear.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't think designers should wear other people I mean, unless it's like an homage to someone, like, I'm friends with um, Johnson Hardig from Libertine, and I love his stuff, and I would happily wear something to one of his shows to support him. But, like, it's weird going out wearing other people's clothes because they just assume it's yours. And then you're like a fraud, because it's like, I don't know, you're not giving credit to the people that created it. If you're creating it, you need to be, like, showing that you support it. You know, I'm showing that women my age can wear my stuff, I'm like, "Look, why are you afraid of these cargos? Why are you afraid of" you know what I mean? So, I wear it, my daughters wear it, we all wear it.
I know you were podcasting when we spoke last time with one of your daughters. So I think that's interesting to kind of, fold her into one of the sides of the business, and kind of have this show together, like you guys were doing. What have you learned about that generation in particular? Because she's Gen Z, right? Is it she's in that sort of grouping?
I think so, and then I have a 21-year-old. I don't know what that is, but anyway, we all live together. It's very fun. We, like, watch every episode of Love Island and, I mean, we know everything there is to know. Like, we're all on social media doing stuff together. We're all like, there's no it's very seamless. The intergenerational part of our relationship is very seamless because sometimes I act, you know, I'm just, like, right there with them at Surf Lodge sometimes and, not in a weird way, but, like, I love stuff like that, you know? I have a I have a people say hanging out with me is like putting a fork in an electrical socket, so I just go, 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 so inevitably, they may be a part of that, somewhere along the way or not, we just we all 3 have a lot of fun, so
That's so fun. So what do you think from, like, a parenting perspective, what do you think you did right that, helped with the closeness that you guys all have together? Like, what are some of the things you think that worked well?
um, well, I don't think there was any, like, real strategy. I come from, like, a really loving household, in a small town, and it was just, my mom was always there for me, and so I feel like I'm always try to be there for my girls, and, um, we go on big adventures, and you know, we just l laugh and like to hang out together. We, have been through a little bit of a rough time about 5 years ago, and I think that made us realize, like, how much we appreciate each other and how much happier we are now and how lucky we are, and so I think it's a combination of all of that.
Okay. So it kind of like all kind of came together. Was there ever like a terrible teenage period or did you kind of get lucky and bypass that?
Honestly, people always ask me that, and I really miss that whole thing. I don't know why, but they weren't like that, I promise you. I'm not delusional. You know, there was like a 1 or 2 incidences, but really, knock wood, I don't know how it happened, but I did not have any real drama with them. I'm not I'm not a drama person, really. I mean, especially with them, like, I'm just so grateful. I was an old mom, so I was like, "Oh my god, this is a miracle," you know? So, I've always been grateful that they're in my life, and, so, yeah, I try to
Yes.
take it easy on them, and they take it easy on me.
I love that. You know what? Here for it. I'm also in the geriatric mom group, and I think it's actually a really good thing because we've lived some life, right? And we've kind of gone through a lot of things by the time we become mothers, and I just think it works to our advantage personally.
I'm very happy. I'm very grateful, and, you know, would I have started a little earlier? Probably, I just didn't have the circumstances, um, to do that, so I feel lucky I got to do it when I did it, you know?
Absolutely. Did you ever feel becoming a mom, was that ever competitive with work for you? Or were you able to kinda separate the 2?
No, I honestly, I think like, again, it wasn't, like, anything that I really, like, strategized about. Like, I was just working my arse off and just, like, working so hard every day. I mean, like, I still do, but, like, and time was going by and I wasn't realizing, I guess, like, that it was sort of like now or never kinda thing. And kind of when I realized was when my husband I didn't get married till I was 30, and then my husband died when I was 34. So, that would have been the time that probably I would have started or at least be thinking about, but then after that, I really couldn't even think about, like, anything for years, and then when I finally was in a place where I the circumstances were right to maybe get pregnant, it was yeah, it was late in the game. So, thank God it worked, and then thank God with a little help from the medical world, it worked a second time.
That's amazing, and you have your two
Yeah,
girls, you
yeah.
know?
So it's like you can't I don't know, and I don't know. It just it's a hard thing to plan. A lot of people plan it. It's not like it wasn't like I thought, "Oh, I have to dedicate everything I've got to my work, so therefore I can't have start a family." I always wanted a family, but I also love my work and, just other ex e extenuating circumstances sort of throwing a wrench into things, so
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I know it's interesting that with time, time doesn't always end up on our side. It's kind of one of those things where you're traveling down this path. And I know for me, I was just kind of like, okay, do I take that turn here or do I go straight? And you can take so many different ways and different routes, but it ultimately, I think that where we end up, is where we're supposed to be. So, looking back, do you regret anything along the way, or do you kind of feel that same way where it's, you've kind of built the way and where you're supposed to be right now?
I think I think it's better to have no regrets. I don't really I feel I feel lucky. Yeah, I don't think that's I don't like to look back. Um, I'm very optimistic and I so I you can't really have regrets and be optimistic. I also think in as a designer and as a creator, it's sort of intrinsically optimistic because you're imagining something that you believe is gonna be amazing in the future. So it's like part of the part of the creative process is to be optimistic and to be forward thinking. So I don't really think back and regret.
I love that. I love that that's part of the DNA for you, the optimism and like, kind of just looking forward because I think a lot of women in midlife, like some of the friends that I've spoken with say that they, feel like they are looking back. They are thinking about like shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do
Mhm.
that? But it's a hard place, right? You're kind of in this like zone where it's just, you've lived life, but you still got a lot of life to live. So I love that, optimism has really guided you in this process. Where does that optimism come from for you? What do you like credit that to?
You mean way back when, before the
That create
creative process kind of thing?
Yeah, however it kind of came for you, like, what kind of keeps you looking forward?
Um, I I mean, I think it's the need to create. I'm just always thinking, oh, it's like you can always have a dream if that's your job. It's like just you're always able to use your imagination and dream, and that's pretty optimistic, I would say.
It is, and it's something like it feels like there's always something that you're like a goal or something you're striving for next. Like it never stops, which is I think really important to kind of always look forward to things
I
like
mean,
that
that is
too.
part of the problem, that it never
Right.
stops. I'm like,
It
there's no
never stops.
end, there's no finish line, there's no just keeps going, just keep grinding, just stay in that hamster wheel. It's really it is
But
really, like, a little
uh,
bit. But it's exciting because things there's new challenges, new opportunities, new categories, new ideas, and new partners, and new everything, and, um, that's always exciting.
right, and it on the flip side, would you even really be happy if you weren't doing
No,
what you're
no,
doing? Like, if retirement came or anything like that, you wouldn't be happy
no,
probably,
there's no
right?
such thing. I have no off switch, that's the problem. In both my personal life and my work life. Yeah.
I like that though. You want that spark plug
Yeah.
around. So what do you do when you want to shut it off? Is there like something you like to do to like kind of relax or kind of or is there really no
I
relaxation?
don't relax. I actually don't relax. The only time I relax is watching dating reality shows with my girls, and sometimes it's, like, so relaxing that I fall asleep, and they're like, "Mommy, mommy," and I but that's the only thing, but I do love them, I'm so hooked on all of them. But, no, I don't there's no I always have said there's no me time, really. I'm not like that kind of person, like, I'm at work with, like, um I'm looking down from the mezzanine at everybody now, like, there's a lot of people here, there's always people at my house. It's just like, I'm not like, "Oh, I need some space." I'm not that person. I always like to take it up a notch.
We love that. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fun. Like you're like the life of the party. Like
kinda.
people want to be around you. I could see
I
that.
get
Yeah.
people wound up for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So are you spending a lot of time in New York like most of the time? Like are you going out? Like what are you doing like if you're not at the office?
Well, I walk to and from work every day, which is about I end up clocking about 5 miles a day, and I try to walk everywhere, but I work until pretty late, and, um, there's a million events. There's, like, movie premieres, da, da, da. I'm going to my friend's restaurant opening tomorrow, my friend's Broadway play tonight, like, a concert, like, there's always I mean, that's why do we live in New York if you're not, like, trying to see and experience everything, and I have s so many good friends that have, like, stuck by me when, like, things were hard and, my squad is great, girls are great. It's just we go in the summer to Montauk. We have a store there, and I have a house there, and so, we go there and act silly, and then there's just always something in the city. I play charades at my friend's house sometimes, like, it's really with actors, and it's really fun. There's just always a lot to do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. I love that you brought up your girlfriends too, because I think that my girlfriends have carried me through so much, and that sense of community is so important. So what do your closest girlfriends mean to you?
Well, I have girl and guy friends. Girl, guy, gay,
Mhm,
straight,
right.
like, all kinds.
Totally. We always love our gays.
I have a bit really full, you know, happy group of friends that all mixes and everybody's like has something interesting, and it's really exciting. You know, I show up for them, they show up for me. My one friend always texts me, "What's up, ride or die?" We're we're each other's ride or die. And, yeah, it's just I'm like, we really appreciate each other.
Yeah, it's great to have sounding boards like that. You need them. You need them, you know? You really do. So what are the things that you think they could be like personality traits or even habits that you have that really have helped with the longevity of your career and all the success that you've had? Are there things that you've always sort of done that have kept you on this really amazing path that you've been on?
I mean, I again, I know I've been very lucky, but I think, I work really hard. That's the thing. Like, I don't know how to not work hard. That's it's like, I just don't know any other way to be. So I don't like, I'm here on Fridays in the summer. Like, it's ridiculous. But then I go out to Montauk and I have 48 hours of insanity, and then I'm back on Monday, you know? So I think my commitment to my job is like unending, you know? I will like do it or die trying. And I'm always like trying to like think of ways to do something in a different way and learn something new and work with different people. And, you know, I think it's like, I think this is such a gift that I have this thing that allows me to like meet so many different people and have access to so many different ideas from art to technology to science to like nature to like crazy sports. I make all the survival suits for the guy that surfed the 100-foot wave. That's like such a gift. Lindsey Vonn's, you know, ski helmet. Like it's just like I that is a gift to be able to meet and think and learn about their world and see if I can maybe like add a little tiny bit to what they're doing. And, you know, and that's fun. So I think it's like that constantly um the constant willingness to try something, like to think how that's really cool. Is there any way like we could help? Could we be involved in that? Like it's like that kind of thing, you know? Like how we is there anything we could do
Mm.
for the like to try to learn about that, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Staying open and trying new things, which is so important. But what do you do when things don't go your way? Like if there's, maybe something in business that didn't work out or in your personal life even, like what how
I
do you
mean,
deal with
yeah, it
like
happens all the
failure
time. I mean,
essentially?
I always say like, you know, someone slams a door, you crawl
Right.
in the window, you know? That's like what I've been doing my whole life. And I'm like relentless. Like I won't take no for an answer. But sometimes you got to take no for an answer. And then you got to pivot, fail, pivot, you know, whatever it takes. And, you know, maybe work twice as hard. Maybe ask someone for a favor that you really don't want to like have to do that, but I'll just make myself do it. I'll just do it. You know, the sweaty stuff, I'm willing to do anything. Like I'm not uh, you know, bougie about anything. Like do anything, you know? So when you fail, you have to be willing to like think about it in a different way. Reinvent yourself. Do whatever it takes to maybe go in a different direction. I mean, sometimes I always think it's a blessing. I try. That's my survival mechanism is like if something fails, whether I've done it, somebody rejects something, there must be a reason. And there must be something else waiting, to happen. So what else could it be? And where can I focus my energy and, think in a different way? So,
No, those are great points. I find too that it is
yeah.
so hard for me to ask for favors from people. And I don't know where that comes from necessarily. Like, I don't know if that was just something that along the way got ingrained or if that's a thing like maybe at this time of life it's just harder to ask. I don't know, but I actually was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, why is it so hard to ask for a favor? So I think it's really interesting that you're bringing that up. I mean, is there a reason for you why that might be a
Oh,
little
like
more
it just
difficult
I feel
or
like if you're just like that person that's like constantly doing, 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 then, it's hard to maybe ask for a favor and then put them on the spot.
yeah. It's also kind of vulnerable
Yeah,
too
yeah,
to
yeah,
put
yeah.
yourself out there like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which vulnerability is not my friend. I'm like working on it, but it's hard, you know? Are do you
If something fails, like, just bail. Like, that's what I mean, in my personal life, just my thing is, like, if it's not working and you try and it's still not working, bail. Like, do not suffer. Do not suffer emotional abuse. Do not suffer through something for some made up reason that you think you have to stick around. Get out. You're gonna be happier. It might take a while, but in the end, I think more your self-esteem and everything else.
I think that that can be applied too to both, platonic friends and romantic partners, right?
Totally.
Because I don't know about y but the older I get, I feel like my friends even, like, thin out a bit. Like, I'm kind of seeing, who is really the people who are the people that I really wanna spend the time with, you know?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just happens organically, but rip the Band-Aid off.
We would be remiss if we did not talk about Hollywood because you have definitely dressed some of the biggest, actors, models. Like, I think the last time we spoke, we had a funny little, you were telling me a story about a certain actress.
I could tell the story because it is funny, pretty funny, I guess. Um, my friend is a painter named Will Cotton, and he paints. We've collaborated on things, and he does these paintings that shows at galleries around the world of these women wearing like confections, like a cake on their head, or like a he paints like very magical, imaginative, fantasy kind of paintings, but
Mhm.
portraits. So Katy Perry's album was coming out, and she has so many, I can't remember what number it was, but he was like, I'm gonna paint her for the cover. And I was thinking about a cupcake dress, like a silver cupcake cup made into a dress. So I was like, of course, got it. So I made the dress and I got to his studio for the portrait sitting where he was gonna take her photo and then eventually paint the portrait. And I was like, "Okay, here it is," and I was, like, getting it out of the bag and, like, from behind me, and by the time I turn around, Katy Perry is stark naked, like, naked, naked, naked,
Oh, nothing left to
and
the
I was like
imagination.
but let me tell you, she looked beautiful, like, perfect, and I was just like, "Here you go, well, yeah, let me just help you get this on." But it was like, she was not shot. That was the first time I met her, and she was just like, "Broop," you know? I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that's probably like all in a day's work for her, right? Getting naked and just like having people dress her and like,
Like, she
right?
looked gorgeous. She looked like perfection.
The next chapter, what's coming up? Like what are you most excited for?
I mean, every day I feel like I'm excited to be here. It's really, um, like if there's endless projects. I was thinking like right now, like, do I start naming stuff off? Not really. I think it's just stay tuned, follow us on social, and it's really there's a lot of collabs coming out over the next
Mhm.
few months, and as well as I don't know, there's like so much stuff. We have our surf camp coming up in 2 weeks. There's like so much stuff. It's a lot. Just follow. There's no time off. There's no, let me just get my head above water. Let me just take a break for a couple months. Nope. It's just not. That's not part of it.
Absolutely. As I like to say, we fly the plane as we're building it. There's no right? We don't step off. We just keep going forward. We just keep going forward.
I tell you one, this is actually a really funny story I just thought of. When I was they asked me would I ever be on Jeopardy, like Celebrity Jeopardy, right? So I was like, yeah, definitely, because I've always wanted to be on a game show, but I kind of had something more like Hollywood Squares in mind or something easy. And then I was like, how do I study for all the knowledge in the world? I'm like, okay, this is terrifying. I'm playing against two geniuses and it's for charity, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so I'm playing and it's really hard because you got to buzz and so I see the board and I'm like, okay, here we go. This is a setup. They must have done this just for me. The header is from the runway. So I'm like, all right, I'll take from the runway for $1 million, whatever the highest one was, 1,000 or something. And Alex Trebek is like, okay, Cynthia, this Boeing 747 was first launched in what year? And I was like, what? Because it's an airplane,
Oh
not a
no.
runway,
You're like,
runway.
I kind of feel like we need to see you more on TV though.
Tell Bravo,
Would you do it?
of course.
Wait, what about Roni, Real Housewives of New
I know
York? Would you?
that's what people say. I would do it. I
Oh
think it'd
my,
be fun.
you you would do it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. We need to let Andy Cohen know. Does he know this?
No.
Oh my God, Andy Cohen, we're calling you right after the show. Like that would be
DM him on
genius.
his
That
Instagram.
I will. Oh my God. Hello. You would save the show. We got to save the show.
Well, I would do that. You know what I wouldn't do? The thing that
Mm,
everybody has
yeah.
asked because Kit was on The Bachelor. Everybody says, "Why aren't you on Golden Bachelor?" And you know why? 'Cause I don't wanna date an
Why?
old guy. That's why.
Wait, do you skew younger when you date?
I don't know if I can reveal that information. You could probably guess.
My my bet is yes. We need somebody with like a lot of good energy.
My kids are
100%.
like, "Your teenage boyfriend's waiting for you outside." I'm like, "Okay, thanks, guys."
He's like, "Wait, who am I here to pick
They
on?"
just
He's like,
they
"Daughter,
just
daughter, mom."
they just joke around about anyway,
What? Why not? Why not? I mean, I say I'm here for it.
yeah.
So, hallelujah. Do it, do it, do
Let's
it. Did you happen to catch Jenna Lyons on Roni when she was on
mhm.
it?
She's a different person. She's a different person than me. I love her. She's great. She's so smart, gorgeous, very I'm a little more of a loose cannon, I would say, which is why might be a bad idea, but whatever. At this point, let's
Or the
see.
best idea?
Let's see.
I'm gonna be DMing Andy Cohen on that again. So, Cynthia, what advice would you give your 25-year-old self?
I mean, I didn't really know anything when I was 25. I was really naive and really clueless about everything in the fashion business. And guess what? It was a time when you couldn't get information. Like, we had freaking Rolodexes, you know what I mean? And telephones, like, there was no if you're lost, you're lost, you know? Like, there was no there wasn't any way to learn, so it just everything was harder, but so t you had to work harder because everything was harder, and now I think it's so much easier and more fun and just different, it's not easier really, but it's different.
Was there like kind of a lesson or a turning point in midlife specifically?
Spend as much time with your kids as you can.
Yeah. That's a big one. That's a big one. I mean, that goes so quickly.
Say yes to every opportunity that you can because you know what no is gonna look like. But when you say yes, you can always say no later, but no is a real dead end. And I also think it's a little bit of an attitude thing. So trying to appreciate all the opportunities you're given. Oh, this is a good quote. Billie Jean King said, "Pressure is a privilege." Isn't that a good one?
That's a
So I
really
think
good
about
one.
that,
That's a
and then I
really
think, if I have the chance to do something super fun, go.
why the hell not? Like, do it, you know? Thank you so much, Cynthia. It's been amazing. I loved having you on, and it was so fun. And everyone can find you at Cynthia Rowley on social media. Is there anywhere else you would like people to go to keep up with
I
you?
mean, just check our website, check our socials,
Mhm.
and visit any stores you might living near, and, yeah,
Yes.
DM me if you have anything to say, DM me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Cynthia. It's been a
Alright, take
pleasure.
care.
What I loved most about this conversation is that Cynthia reminded us something we all need to hear. Reinvention doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's simply having the confidence to keep evolving while staying true to yourself. Whether we're talking about fashion, creativity, confidence, or building a life that's authentically yours, her message was clear. There are no expiration dates on curiosity, ambition, or personal style. If this conversation inspired you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who's embracing her own next chapter. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Iconic Midlife wherever you listen to your podcasts. Leave a review and follow us on social media at the Iconic Midlife and at Red Carpet Roxy for more conversations that celebrate the power, possibility, and reinvention that come with midlife. Until next time, remember, your most iconic chapter may still be ahead of you.